Hi, and welcome to another episode of EKKO Titles, the Daily Discussion. My name is Karen Daly. I am the attorney and branch manager for EKKO Titles Ashburn One Loudoun office. And with me today, I have Valerie Triplett. She is one of our most experienced closers, and she covers the Route 28 corridor from Centerville to Ashburn. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you.
We're so glad you're here.
Thanks, me too.
Yeah. So today is our first video on surveys. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're excited that you're here, and we hope that you find this information helpful. To access our full library, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So Valerie, surveys.
Yes.
Very
surveys.
Interesting.
Very exciting surveys,
Yes,
for sure.
So in your 20 years of doing title, what are some common reasons that you have started seeing as to why buyers are not getting surveys?
It's been a very interesting trend. Way back when I first started, we would just automatically order surveys on behalf of the buyer. We received a ratified contract in, we order a survey on behalf of the buyer, we review it at the table, etc. Deal with any issues if there were any along the way. Now we've seen a tide change, if you will. A lot of it, I do believe, stems to the lenders, telling the buyers that a survey is not needed. It's not required. You don't need it. Don't worry about spending that money. They are right about one thing. It is not required on a typical residential resale or even a new construction purchase for residential property. It's typically not a requirement of the lender, of the title company, but it's such an important key of the research that the buyer does or the resource that they will have regarding their property.
And so what are a couple other reasons why buyers are not getting surveys?
Sometimes the cost, right? Of course. And then also they think that anything they need to know about their property, they can find in the land records, or that we will find in the land records during the title search. And yes, there is obviously property information such as the legal description, which you find in the land records, but that's not the full picture of what you're physically buying.
So what would be a reason that a buyer would want to get a survey?
There are many reasons why a buyer needs a survey when they're purchasing a property. But the three most notable reasons would most likely be, one, to get a clear understanding and a true picture of what you're physically buying, right? You see the boundaries of the property, you see what is on your property that should be there, what shouldn't be there, etc. Another reason would be to avoid any possible litigation or liability in the future in case there is any dispute between you and a neighbor of where one property begins, one property ends, what's on what. And then a third would be for future resource. You're doing anything externally to the property, you're in an HOA, most likely you're gonna need HOA approval, sometimes county approval, depending on what you're actually doing. You're gonna need that snapshot of what the property looks like to get those approvals.
Valerie, why is it important for a buyer to find out this information beforehand?
It's extremely important because in the contract itself, it states that the seller must convey both marketable and insurable title to the buyer, which in a nutshell means that the property can be sold at market rate without any encumbrances, liens, etc. against the property, and has to be able to be insured without any extra risk premium.
So to summarize, it sounds like getting a survey is a really good idea for a buyer.
Extremely great idea. This is usually the biggest investment or biggest purchase that someone makes in their lifetime. It is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Getting this survey just gives you that much more information of what you're spending all this money on and an extra resource for the future.
And as we'll talk about in our next video, there's some protection that a buyer will get through their owner's insurance policy by getting a survey.
Correct.
So thank you, Valerie.
You're welcome.
It was very helpful.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for watching. We hope you found this information useful. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to post in the comments below or call your local EKKO Title office. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be notified when we upload new content. We look forward to seeing you at the settlement table. Have a great day.